Hey, my friend, welcome back to LolaOla.com. In this episode, I'm sharing with you 5 signs of wife losing interest in husband. There are 5 signs that I want to share with you in this video. However, there may be other signs, there may be other things you're seeing, but these are the most common 5 signs. I want to share that with you and just understand that these signs are not necessarily gospel truth. These things may be showing in your wife, and there may be other reasons why these things are happening, but there's also a good chance that the wife is losing interest. So let's dive into it. They avoid conversations. 1, they avoid conversation. Your wife is avoiding conversations with you, and they're giving you one-word answers. They are basically acting like they're not interested in anything you have to say. That's a good sign that they're losing interest. But if anything at all, you know that at least in this moment in time, they don't have any interest. Okay. But also, if you do that long enough, that can translate into long term, they're not interested in a relationship with you and they are falling off, and you should absolutely do something about that. The second sign is they complain about PDAs. What is PDA? PDA is public displays of affection. Okay. So sometimes they don't necessarily complain expressly in words. Sometimes they say it outright and say, "Why are you touching me? Don't touch me. Leave me alone." Things like that is a sign, obviously, that wife is losing interest in the husband. Just keep in mind that these things are symptoms. There are underlying issues, and if you focus on the symptoms too much or you take it to heart too much, you're probably going to do the wrong things, and you're going to push your wife even further away from you, and you help them lose even more interest. But it's good to have the signs because these are symptoms, but you need to find out what the underlying issues are and you need to fix them. The third sign that your wife is losing interest in you, if you're searching for these answers, is they roll their eyes consistently. Okay, so your wife, anytime you're talking to them, you're having a conversation, they tend to roll their eyes when you're having serious conversations with them. Okay, so they may say things like, "Oh, here it go again, here comes again, or there he goes again," like things like that. And they start rolling eyes and stuff like that when they're talking to you. That is a sign that your wife is losing interest in you, and that is a symptom of underlying negative things that are happening in your relationship that you absolutely try to fix. All right. The fourth sign that I want to share with you is if your wife has made it clear, expressly tells you that she's no longer interested. Okay, so the fourth sign, she makes it clear that she's no longer interested. If she says it in words, you need to believe her. Okay, because if you don't believe her, you're going to make things worse. Okay. You may say, maybe she's joking around. This is one of the problems that men have. A lot of times we don't see this kind of things coming because we kind of figure, hey, you're committed, you went to the altar, and you're in this together for a long run, and you're hoping that she's also in it for the long run. But again, women operate off of their feelings and their emotions, and if it's not right, they will bail on you. Okay, that's just the way it is. All right, so if she's made it clear that she's lost interest, don't take that for granted. Take it seriously. Have a conversation and say, "What is going on, babe? Talk to me." And when you do say that, make sure that you're not being defensive. Make sure you're not approaching that situation with with defensiveness, because that's only going to make things worse. Okay, that's not going to help you. The fifth, last that I'm going to share within the scope of this video, sign that your wife is losing interest in you, is that she gives excuses every time. Seemingly every time. It feels like it's every time that she gives excuses to avoid sex. If she's avoiding intimacy and sexual activities with you, that's clearly a sign that she's losing interest. Now, her losing interest, let me round off with this, okay? If she's losing interest, that doesn't mean she doesn't want to be with you. It just means right now, okay? If you don't pay attention to it, it can become forever, but it ultimately most of the time means right now. But these are the signs that something is wrong with your relationship and you should in fact do something about it. So for a quick recap, 1, they avoid conversations. 2, they complain about PDA, public displays of affection. They're not interested in any kind of make good look good in public, anything with you. 3, rolls her eyes consistently. 4, she makes it clear she lost interest. She's actually said it in words. Don't take that for granted. And 5, she excuses. Okay, she gives all types of excuses. She has an excuse why she's tired, she doesn't want to, she doesn't initiate. Maybe she's not an initiator, but she's not interested all the time, even when you initiate. Then you should pay attention to that. Okay, but just keep in mind that if you don't have enough self-love, you're not going to attract her back to yourself. If you don't have a personal purpose that's bigger than yourself and her, chances are she's going to lose interest in you because you're probably busy chasing her around and you're making things worse. So you should have those things in place. And last but not least, you should have some self-love. You should pay attention to what made you attract her in the first place, and pay attention, put those things back in place. It could be you lost your job, you've been defensive in recent times, you don't give her any pass, you're very you're abusive with your words, verbal, things like that will turn a woman off, and obviously she will lose interest in any kind of intimacy with you. That's all I have for you on this episode. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. Please go to lolaola.com or simply go to getmymarriageback.com and get your hands on the book. Okay, get your hands on the book, become a member over there. We have everything you need to help you build a healthy and a strong relationship for your marriage for the long term. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.